Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, pumpkin. We now conclude Floptober. Floptober is officially finished. It is the first red October in 7 years. I've got a cracker episode coming for you today. We're going to speak about Bitcoin's Halloween prices. Jim Cramer, he's bullish on equities for a bounce on Monday. Does that mean it's all over? We're going to speak about Treasury Secretary Bessent, Trump, Tariq, StableCoin SuperCycle, Elon Musk, Jamie Dildo, ZeCash, the estrogen union, all of that coming your way and more. Here is the Bitcoin monthly candle. Pretty much it is over. We finish around, yes, hugely down, 5 to 10%, whatever it is out here. We have the first red October in 7 years, man. 7 years. What's going on here? I'm just going to show you as well. So remember, I made videos yesterday. I was like, shh, don't say anything. Don't say anything in terms of don't jinx it. But Bitcoin, friends, we had the scam manipulators send us down through the level. They smashed us down. There is no follow through. And now we've bounced back up. See this circle? So that's what this yellow line is, just the previous monthly low. Okay, so they've come and taken another stab. Remember, they took a stab at this after the liquidations. Right, this was after the Chinese exchange cabal. They came, they sent us down, and it just didn't want to go under, and it went above, but then it kept bouncy ball here. Here we have this scam exchange again. So they tried to do it again. They literally wanted to do it again. They really want to kill everyone out here. I'll just play some angel music for everyone out there, just, you know, moving along, hoping that we make it together. So what's the reason? Okay, Raoul Pal, he's got a nice reason. It's just we've heard a lot of reasons, you know what I mean? The reason is the TGA, the US government account. Okay, because there's a shutdown, they don't do the money spending, and the stock market have the DCA Ponzi money coming in, $60 billion a month. So they okay, the stock market stays bid when the government shuts down, but crypto doesn't have that. We don't have these ETFs that are doing DCA money. We don't have people forcefully DCAing with long-term vision in crypto. That's why we're like so extremely volatile, right? And that's why they call it like a bit of a liquidity crisis. And this liquidity crisis, many people are saying, hey, it's the first start for a 4 or 5 year bear market that's going to kill crypto again. It's kind of funny how, guys, like no crypto bear market is anything to even joke about. It's kind of funny, even people who have sold, which there's many KOLs, they're like, don't worry, it's just going to be like, you know, it's a bit like 1 year bear market, we'll just dip down, it'll be long. Like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? You are literally talking to hundreds of millions of people who are still destroyed 90% down from 2021 bear market. So you're basically telling, oh, don't worry, yeah, it's just, you know, maybe God just wants to do that to us, friends. I don't know, maybe we're all cursed. And he says, oh, you know, your 5 year bear market wasn't enough, let's make you 10 years, you know. And then you also have, you know, let's play devil's advocate, and then I'll out-devil the devil's advocate. They'll say, oh, but crypto's all speculation. Like, you know, you don't even have all the cash flow positive revenue applications. And then I'll gently and kindly remind them to shut up, because the racist Russell 2000 is an index with 2,000 companies, 1,000 of them unprofitable. It gets DCA bought by everyone's superannuation and stuff, 401k, through the all-time highs. Here it is up here. It's actually holding the all-time highs. Isn't it funny? All these small caps. You want to talk about speculation. Companies, salaries. You're in the index. You don't even make money, and you're in an index, dude. And you have the nerve to talk about crypto. So basically what people are doing is, friends, look, everyone talks their book, yeah? We're long, we want it to go up. We see value in the future. They're short. They're out. They're sidelined. They want it to go down. They go, oh, you're all speculative. I want you all to drop 99% so we can do a nice reset and I can take a holiday. You know, everyone's talking their book. I think it's very apparent now. Everyone can see it. Let's have a quick checkout, friends. I was just checking out PulseChain prices up 1%. Nothing really to be happy about anywhere out there. Actually, it's been disastrous, friends. I was seeing in Raoul Powell's in his comment section as well. I think the highest comment was someone saying, I'm sick and tired of this. Can't you just admit it? Call a spade a spade. This has been the most horrific thing of all time. It's been really shit. It's been terrible. Stop pretending like everything's okay and stuff. And that's like the comments, and I had like a lot of up comments. And look, like, man, it's true. Of course it's true. But I want you to think about it. If you have that feeling, okay, now that you let it out, okay, what do we get from that? It's being trash. It's like I'm saying, dude. Okay, you go outside. Oh, it's raining. Okay, what do we get from that? Okay, you've let it out. All right, now what? Now what? Let's think about tomorrow. Okay, you make a decision. Are you gonna sell and leave, or are you gonna walk away? I'm still staying. Okay, I'm not leaving. I believe in something. I think the world is becoming more digital over time. Everyone is becoming more digital over time. Everything, AI, robotics. The business cycle has to eventually kick up. Yeah, I know it's like now going to be 36 months below 50. Quantitative tightening, whatever, man. You can spin anything else. I'm not leaving. I don't care. I see all of us are just too sad. Everybody's still too sad, you know. But then that's what people get sad about. They're like, oh, let's be sad because it's been sad. But we can't do anything with that, bro. What can we actually do? You can't do anything. But you make a decision, right? I'm going to keep holding. I really do like Ethereum still holding above this monthly wedge, friends. It's very interesting to me. Ethereum on this big macro wedge, even despite all this weakness. But Ethereum's only got that chart pattern because it was so much of an abomination and trashly weak for a very, very, very long time. It actually is still weak. I mean, you want to check about from 2017, Ethereum is still down 77% after 8 years. And if you go to the 2021 high, it is down 60% still on its ETH-BTC ratio. So, you know, everyone's pretty much playing from behind. We all need the business cycle to come and crank up. We've got an industry at 3.6 trillion. Everyone's calling for the end right now. Look, there's one thing I know, friends. I'm quite confident a lot of the 4-year cycle people are actually out. A lot. Not all, but most of them are out. Because the market always front runs. Remember, you've known this, right? People who are going to sell this year, when they start to see everything go down, they just click out. They're like, oh, I was going to sell next month anyway. Just get it out now. Okay, so I'm actually quite confident of that. I also like how we've had a lot of stabs down here where the Chinese exchange cabal coming to wreck everyone and do the big retest out here. But, you know, all we can do is pray that it gets better. Is it going to get better? I hope so. This is the Bitcoin weekly chart out here doing all these wicks and smacking around here. Man, a lot of people, friends, it's going to be like quite interesting if we get to this 130K. You know what's weird, friends? Do you remember at the beginning of this year, I told you, it was literally January this year, okay? I said, look, everyone wants to sell at 150. Everyone wants to sell at 150. And I was expecting, I go, you know what? Imagine I said 125 to 130 might be where it stops. It's just it's just disgusting. It actually did stop exactly 125. But we're still like, you know, we never got altcoins or the business cycle going up. It's quite sad that we've had literally 11 PMI readings in here and they're all still below 50. 11 in a row this whole time. We had Trump tariffs. We have now just, 4-year cycle FUD. Just showing you, friends, like it's all pre-programmed in the universe. Because, people are selling because they think it's over. You know, it's the government, the good news came out, right? So it's got nothing to do with the news. We know that. It's about this emotional business cycle. There's too many more variable factors going on at the same time. I also want to show you some goldy gold, friends. Remember, gold had this big, enormous move up. It's still hanging around down here, it's wonderful. That with gold, the Bitcoin to gold rotation, now we're in November. You know, hopefully it's okay, but we've been saying that for a long time. So, I mean, like this godforsaken industry has just been nothing but turmoil and terror for everyone. You know what we need, friends? We need more tokens. That's what we need. There's just not enough tokens in crypto. Said absolutely no one. Everyone launches a token. It's all the same stuff, dude. Nothing's got demand. They launch it. They're going to dump it. And even if they have demand, it's one cycle stuff anyway, and then they move on. Let's crack on. Bitcoin Halloween's price is $109,000. Last year, though, some optimism. Last year, it was 72,000. Bitcoin Halloween 2024, 72,000. Bitcoin in 2023 Halloween was 34,000. 34,000. That's why we were hoping it was going to do a 2x and then a 2x again, but it didn't. It stalled out. Right? Many people believe, like Jams, Wynn, and others, that Bitcoin's going to go and crack below 100K and get decimated. Could happen. One more squeeze down. Everyone always says that. I want to draw this to your attention as well, just to remind you, friends. So QT has ended. Okay, we've ended the quantitative tightening. It's ended, and we've had a big capitulation. Wick down. It feels like, man, like there's just a lot of signals saying things will turn the other way. Now, the problem everyone has is, this is the problem everyone has. Bitcoin's gone up so much. Everyone's like, how can you say the bull market's just getting started? Bitcoin's gone up that much. But what they're doing is they're expecting, okay, that the future, they think they know the future. So they're interpolating the future, extrapolating that it's going to be exactly like the past. So what they're saying in their mind is, they go, Bitcoin's done like 9x and altcoins barely moved. Therefore, Bitcoin has to do like another 9x for altcoins to move. And that will put Bitcoin at $1 million. And they go, oh, that's definitely not happening. So you're smoking crackles. Okay? That's where everyone's coming from, right? So what I just want to remind you is these people are the crowd, and somewhere they're going to get it wrong. Okay? Somewhere they're going to get it wrong. For somewhere in their magical world of expectations, just like how Bitcoin dominance went up only for that, who's to say, man, that this move down isn't like an Ethereum-led rally? Okay? No one's giving any probabilities to this at all, you know? Which is, it's what you want. It's what you and I want, okay? No one's optimistic on Ethereum next year. No one. No one's even optimistic on Bitcoin dominance next year doing good things for us. Nothing, okay? I want to remind you as well, like Bitcoin dominance is still sitting below its 10-period moving average. Fans, I also want to give you more amazing news. Do you know Willy Woo, friends? Willy Woo here. He was on an interview. I haven't watched the full interview, but Willy Woo, he said that basically the 40 cycle's done now and we're going down. We're going to have like a liquidity crisis, pretty much. That's what people are saying. I've said on the tweets. I didn't actually watch the full clip, but yeah, he's pretty much calling for the end now, which is wild because remember, Willy Woo, he marked the top of Bitcoin dominance at 66%. He called for Bitcoin dominance to go above 90% up there. So is he going to be another nice counter indicator? It's interesting. I couldn't believe it. Like, and you know, friends, you know, Willy Woo was calling for SuperCycle in 2021. He said Bitcoin will never go under 1 trillion market cap again. That's about $52,000. And then it went down to 15. Interesting, right? Now he's saying, oh yeah, like, you know, 40 cycle, all these big wallets are moving. They've been absorbing all this buy pressure. So bad things are going to happen now. So it's interesting. I never would have thought that we'd get to the 40 cycle. He's saying, oh, it's over. Wow. So, as I've told you, friends, Bitcoin completes its first red October in 7 years, finishing one of the worst. And I've mentioned here as well, Raoul Pal. So, he speculates it's because of that government TGA, their Treasury general account. They spend it like month to month on stuff and like, I don't know, it seeps somewhere into the economy. We go look it up, but who cares? It's boring government stuff. With the government shutdown, that's basically put everything down. But like, you know, crypto is very sensitive to liquidity, so it makes sense. But we just keep making excuses, man. Like, what happened to forward-looking new purchasing orders? It's so volatile, man. So at the beginning of this year, the forward-looking indicators are good. Then Trump tariffs comes and resets everything. Then everything starts going away. And then, I don't know, we just blow up. Chinese exchange bowl. Like, there's always something around the corner to screw everyone up, isn't there? Jim Cramer has said, we've got to wait until Monday for a bounce in financial markets. So he was talking about equities as well out here. Has he cursed us for a Black Monday? You know, just to show you the absolute tear that we've been seeing. Look at the Japanese Nikkei, friends. The Japanese Nikkei since April is up 70%. Bro, this is the entire index of the country. Okay, do you know what it did? Look at this, friends. It did 10 green weeks in a row. 10 green weeks in a row. It's up 25% in 2.5 months, going up only 20 for the whole index. The Nasdaq equities have literally had a huge explosion upwards. Now, a lot of people are saying bubble, bubble, bubble. It's all a bubble. Look, there's a good reason they're up there. Because earnings are going up. Why are earnings going up? The market's starting to price something into the future. It's starting to price in the robots, AI getting better, quantum. It's starting to price these things in. Okay, the companies aren't even out there because what the market's done is, friends, it's seen all the investment from like, you know, Facebook, Meta, Google, Amazon's, Crapple, maybe not Crapple, but yeah, all of them doing AI stuff. Facebook, they're all investing in it. So the market's like, oh, it's taken the signal. It's go, oh, you've invested this much. You're all looking for a return. That's why the market's smart. Like, it's on average, right? There's the wisdom of the crowd. The wisdom of the crowd knows they go, hey, when you have this many smart people who predicted the tech run, that's why they're at the top of the tech ladder, you know, like all the big tech companies. Now they're saying the next wave of tech is AI, and they've just invested billions and billions and billions, like 30, 40, 50 billion dollars of investment for infrastructure. The market's giving a probability that they're going to be correct again. Okay, and that's why you see, even in Nikkei, friends, even Japanese companies, because AI, right? AI is not racist like the Russell. AI is going to be able to be friends with everybody. Okay, you just program it, make you a sandwich, give you a nice foot rub, tell you that your elbows are very, very pointy today, you know? So these are the type of great, amazing things coming in the future. Obviously, crypto is meant to be the financial rails. We are sinking into the floor forever. I wish it was the other way, you know? You would think that with such a big investment to the future, things will be different. But, you know, you can't pick these things perfectly. It just takes time. Treasury Secretary Bessent says US and China have planned to sign trade deal over the coming week. That might coincide with the government turning on again. I think Polymarket have November 4 to November 7. So that's just in a few days where the government's expected. There's highest odds for it to basically to turn on again. So you never know, friends. Maybe the government shutdown stopping, we just boost up a bit. It also might be funny if equities have a little lower high, failed rally on the good news coming out, and then equities start to do a bit of their downturn, and hopefully we rotate a bit upwards. We also have, friends, President Pump saying the trade deal with China will be long-lasting. He loves them long. That's what she said. President Trump said he would love to reduce tariffs on China by another 10%. Friends, isn't it funny? This type of news coming out, you know, positive news coming out. The news doesn't really matter, though. We know, okay? Everyone's just psychologically traumatized and everything out here. We also have Secretary Bessent saying he's met with Singapore Prime Minister to increase adoption of crypto and stablecoins. So there you go. StableCoin SuperCycle, the theme is still on. All the crypto payments and rails all around the world, all these different chains, everything's coming together. You know about our bets. I speak about it to you often. I like PDI as a bet on that. You can buy Arthur Hayes' token unlocks as he dumps on everyone, literally like, you know, one day after he turbo shields. You can buy Chainlink or Ethereum. It's all the same bet. We're all betting on the same thing. I mean, like, look at ZeCash, by the way. Did you think privacy would come back and then you'd smash up ZeCash? Like, Monero's been on everyone's mind for a long time. It's just ZeCash was the one. Also, friends, I'll make more posts about this, but ZeCash has done an amazing thing, okay? ZeCash, this is actually, let's look at the ZeCash. This is ZEC BTC ratio. Friends, in literally, okay, in 2 months, okay, ZeCash is now only 45% below its May 2021 high. Okay, and if you go back to 2020, this is where Chainlink peaked. It's about 57% below its high. So you understand, like, that's enormous, right? It was down, it was down 96%. And look, it went up like this fast move. I hope it keeps going, man. I really hope it does a fast 10x. Just to show you, and like, I know that's ratio stuff, which is what you should be looking at, but this is the USD price, and it starts at, this is the 2021 May high. Okay, so if you came in 2021 and you bought this top, guess what? It's come back for you. Look how fast it came back as well, man, in just 2-3 months. So we're all hoping that we get this type of treatment as well. Remember, XRP did that big fast move as well. So I'm hoping that these are foreshadowing what's coming in the future. Okay, what we can do is we'll look at XRP. Look at this XRP, friends, in the middle of nowhere, goes and breaks its 2021 high out here. Now, of course, it's not the 2017 high; it's a 2021 high. But look. That's just what you have to kind of like do. Like, you know, when you go 2 cycles ago, you have to write it off a bit. You do, you know, and that's the unfortunate part about it. But, you know, also, friends, look, check this out. If we look at XRP BTC, okay, another way of its relative ratio measure, XRP BTC, this was its high price, November 2020 on the BTC ratio. It's down about 45%. Okay, but look how much it rallied. It ran all the way to here. That means it was only down 20% from the high of its 2021 price. That's wild, man. That's wild, within 20% of the high. So it came back for like a huge thrust of its 2021 pricing. Now, if you're curious, like what Hex would look like if it did that, I'm not sure if this is the exact combined Hex BTC ratio today, but it would be like Hex pretty much. Let's say Hex went within 50% below its all-time high. Wow, man, look how far away that is. Jeez, it would be Hex doing like a 65x rally. You'll take that. I know you will. You'd love to take that. But yeah, also just to remind you, for Hex to break its all-time high, it's got to hit $1.65. That's the USD pricing based off the BTC ratios. That's why it's important, friends. If you have spare cash, do yourself a favor, keep DCA buying stuff. Hopefully it all works out. But yeah, I've shown you XRP, I've shown you Zcash. Think about it. You would never expected them, man. You would never expected them. They don't have any tech. You know, Zcash is like, oh, did you ever hear anybody telling you to DCA buy Zcash or anything? Nope. we knew there were like these OG people who kind of liked it here and there, but nowhere near anything like this to this amount. Okay, so just showing you like it's not just about the few people we see on Twitter and YouTube. You never heard a single KOL talk about it, friends. Did you ever hear anyone talk about it? Not one. It was even funny. Like a lot of you were like scoffing and laughing when like Ivan said, "Oh yeah, you should have bought ZeCash." Even ZeCash went up. Like, you know, its 4-year cycle could be over. And we're like, bro, I've been watching you for 5 years. You've never said to buy ZeCash. So look, when our coins go up eventually, it'll be the same thing. Yeah, it'll be people you've never seen or heard before saying, "Oh, yeah, you should have bought that one." And the crowd's going to get angry at them, saying, "Hey, man, for 5 years, you never told us to buy that. Why? It's your fault. You're costing me money." Okay? We haven't got that yet. Okay? We're not in the heat of the bull anywhere near yet. So when you see XRP and ZeCash, you just see them as flash in the pans. They're like the little unicorn cherry poppers. Okay? Once there's like 30 coins that have done it, I'm hoping there's 30. Let's say there's like 10, 12, 15, 20 coins that have done it, that have had a crack. What ends up happening? People start coming into crypto, you know, even probably before that. And they're like, "Oh, which are the next ones that are going to go? The recovery trades, the resurrection trades. I'm looking for resurrection trades." In more news, friends, Elon Musk says Tesla may launch a flying car in the future. So he went on Joe Blogan again. Here's Elon. Here he is. He went on Joe Blogan. And yeah, they spoke about flying cars. And I've also had a joke here of saying, and in true crypto nature, with his flying car Tesla announcement, we'll probably go into another 5-year altcoin bear market just from this irrelevant piece of news. Just because like it seems like no matter what happens, we go down. Which is, man, after 5 years, you know, okay, in the first year, fair enough. Second year, fair enough. Third year, we're like, you know what, it's been painful. We can take it. Now you're taking out of the piss. 5 whole years is still going down. You know, there's a couple of things on our side though, friends. You know, Taiki Maeda still short and adding to his shorts. James Wynn still short and calling for much lower. Let's see if they can do it for us. Soy Bankman-Fried says FTX was never insolvent. There have always been enough assets to repay all customers in full, in kind. So he's come out here. Soy Bankman-Fried from jail has actually shown where all the money went from. It's an interesting topic to talk about, but this is just me, friends. Okay, because we have been through a 5-year abomination market. Everyone's lost all their money. It's pretty much an effective loss. Like you've literally like if you didn't have 5 years of savings, you've lost. Okay, 5 years, you're down 95%. Because of that, I want to take vengeance on the world now. I want Soy Bankman-Fried to get out. I don't care anymore. I don't give a shit. I'll defend that as well. I say let him out of jail and give him an exchange license just to see what happens. Okay, and don't even bother checking him more than like once a year. Just give him a call at Christmas. "Hey, are you running a Ponzi or not?" "No?" "Okay, cool. Check up next year." I don't care at this point. Okay, the fact that they made, I think the biggest spit in the face was to see hundreds of thousands of retailers line up to buy gold. Yeah, that was the biggest spit in the face in Year of the Snake. Yeah, talk about Year of the Snake. That one was the kick in the nuts. Okay. That one was, you know, XRP, I'm cheering for them. ZCash, I'm cheering for them. When we see, but XRP, BTC is still down because most people bought from 2017, right? But hey, you got back year 2021. We get it, okay? But the serpent to actually make me watch retailers line up to buy gold, and then just when you thought, okay, you've already stabbed me in the back, okay? Now you've got your boot on the back of my neck. I can't breathe. Okay, George Droid style, okay? And now, just to wedge the knife in my spine even tighter, the retailers lined up for less than a 2x. Less than 50% gain. Less than 50%. That's the biggest spit in the face. I was like, okay, I can deal with it. You know, stab me in the back, destroy my spine, sever every organ of me, and kill me and send me to eternity for purgatory hell just for existing. I get that part. I can live with that. Less than a 2x? You bought gold at 4,300 and your euphoria price was 6,000? You know, we're going to have to seek out vengeance on this world, friends. Like, what they've taken from us, disgusting, okay? And literally, not even one sign that things are getting better. Play some Ah, man, what do we do? What do we do? I'm still holding though. Cheap prices, friends. Cheap prices are for holding and or buying. If you have any spare ammo, they're not for selling. Literally over my dead body, I'll sell. Literally over my dead body. I don't care. Sunk cost fallacy. They can write about me for the next hundreds of years about what not to do. I don't give a shit. I'll go down with this ship. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dildo says crypto is real. It will be used by all of us to facilitate better transactions. I mean, this is just freaking the universe. Friends, I'm telling you, it's the year of the snake, man. It's year of the snake so hard. It's the Chinese year of the snake. Chinese exchange cabal, the tariff stuff. We thought it was going to get better. Snake deception stuff. Now we have literally head of snake headquarters, Jamie Dildo here, hissing away, saying, oh yeah, remember how I fudded crypto for like literally 7 years? Now I'm saying it's actually the future. Next year's year of the unicorn, friends. Okay? A unicorn is a species of horse. Don't listen to Google. Okay? Who the hell looks at a unicorn and thinks of a goat? That's what Google says. Oh, a unicorn is actually more like a deer and a goat. Ask a 4-year-old child, get permission from their parents first. What do you think about when you think of a unicorn? Do you think of a goat or a horse? What do you think the kid's going to say? This Google AI is starting to piss me off. Okay? I wonder, friends, if one day you can like get an AI robot and it will just let you like just bash the shit out of it in your garage or something when you're angry. But someone's got to build it. I'm sure that's coming right after the sex robots. Now, remember, in just 3 weeks, ZeCash has punched to its 2021 high. That's beautiful. It's USD price high. That'll be good. That'll be like Hex in like, I think it's more like, 70 days. In 2 months, Hex just gone to 55 cents. And look, we have to have this abundance mindset. Not once did you see, like, do Zcashers even have a cult? Where are they? It's old schoolers. They just don't even talk about it anymore. They're like, oh yeah, it's kind of there just because of like memorabilia, because of like the meme of Satoshi. But that's it, man. And it still did it. It still did it. I think Adzi asked in my Telegram as well, why did it actually go up? We don't know, bro. It was just, look, it's supply-demand mechanics. Everyone over this, like, that's why I showed you, friends. Remember the saying? I mean, like, it's so perfect to see with Zcash. Do you know the saying, the longer the base, the higher the pump to space? Yeah, well, this period was everyone dropping their supply to buy pretty much any other coin, and then bang, you've got nothing else here. So there were no offers between here. Everyone who wanted to sell up here sells down there, okay? That's why, friends, also, if you look at the Hex chart, for example, it's the same thing. All of the people who wanted to sell Hex at 30 cents, even 10 cents out here, they've been selling under 1, okay? That's why our future might look like this. Bang, bang, like that. Straight like that. And then, Richard comes out. Friends, honestly, I think the amount of caffeine we're going to have to be drinking and probably illicit substances we'll be taking just to stay up, just to go through every receipt on Twitter that we've accumulated for like 4.5 years. Oh my gosh. And trust me, they're going to have FOMO, right? Friends, if Hex does a 50x, okay, these people know, dude, if you put in 0.02 BTC, you'd have 1 Bitcoin right now after it does that move, okay? And they know it. They know it because you just speak in the currency they like, yeah? Because if you're a Bitcoin maxi, you go, haha, if you were so smart, you could have made an extra Bitcoin by doing this, but you didn't. Because they're like, oh, because why does it hurt them? Because they know they're mercenaries anyway, and they just care about their currency. It works for every single currency, right? We're all ruled by emotions. The estrogen union's vision: scan first, encrypt later. Supporters call it safety. Opponents call it mass surveillance that risk undermining encryption and digital trust. So we have the estrogen union coming out, obviously wanting to infringe on everyone's rights, but do you even have them really? I think the estrogen union, friends, they are basically, China's obviously way ahead in terms of mass surveillance, non-human intelligence, ultra control stuff, government authority. And then Europe's like following their lead, and then America's at the back like, hey, freedom and justice, but they just find ways to sneak stuff in here. I'd love to care about it if they just didn't make us so poor for 5 years. I really would. I would, trust me, every day, friends, like, I would love to get up, make this mad, like, presidential speech about changing the world, getting more digital. The future is now. We build the better systems. You are the forgotten ones. I'd love to make that speech. Unfortunately, when you're down 95% after 5 years and you've been obliterated, dumped, Chinese cabal, everything's just destroyed the living soul out of you, while people line up for gold, while people buy 1,000 unprofitable companies in the racist Russell 2000, whilst people buy 350 PE share Palantir, where you're going to get back your money in the year 23, 25, 300 years from now. That's what a 300 PE means. While I'm just see all those spits in the face, I don't give a shit. I just don't give a shit. I don't care. Let Soy Bankman-Fried out. That's how we all feel. You know what, friends? If we're really going to do this cycle, we need a BitConnect. There's no BitConnect. Who's running the Ponzi? There's no one to even point fingers at. I'm hoping by the end of this cycle, there's 6 companies, and we're like, okay. And then there'll be the polymarket bet. Okay, which one of these is running the Ponzi? And you just take a bet. We've got to get to that place, man. We're not there. Because I'm going to give you a live update as well. Coinbase App Store ranking is 271. Nowhere near, man. Nowhere near. Coinbase CEO Brian Boldstrong rattled off crypto buzzwords at the end of his Q3 earnings call, resolving $84,000 in prediction markets best to yet. He says he happened spontaneously. So what he did, friends, is at the end of the earnings call, he literally read out all these words. What will Coinbase say during their next earnings call? All of these words had different bets. Decentralized exchange, stablecoin, Web3, blockchain, staking, Bitcoin, Ethereum. And they had odds. He literally just read all of them out so that everybody got yes. So everybody, oh man, it's so funny, man, just to think of something like that. So prediction markets, right, can be easily manipulated by people. I think it's a nice lesson for that as well. Man, it'd be funny. Remember Trump's handshake? Longest handshake in history. Good question, friends. This is a hot debate. What do you think the Bitcoin price is going to be in 2026 Halloween? This is the trajectory of what it used to be. 20 cents, $3, 11, 200, 300, 300, 600, 6,000, 9,000, 13, 60, 1. Back down to 20,000, 34, 72, 110. 2026 Halloween. It's literally 50-50 with everyone. It's either 50K, so we have the bear market and we bottom out, or it's like 220, we do another 2x. That's why we have a big indecision candle for October. Everyone's like, okay, in 12 months from now, we're either 2x higher or 50% lower. What do you think is going to happen? Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.